After a daring escape from the camp of the Legion, the hero and June finally arrive at the lands of the Dynasty. The sight before them is a stark contrast to the oppressive confines of the Legion camp. The market is alive with vibrant colors, laughter, and the aroma of exotic spices wafting through the air. Children play freely in the streets, and merchants eagerly call out to potential customers. In the distance, an imposing lotus-shaped palace looms over the city, a symbol of the Dynasty's regal heritage. June, still holding Hero's hand, guides them through the bustling crowd, her eyes scanning for something or someone. Eventually, she leads Hero to a dojo, its entrance marked with ornate carvings of dragons and warriors. Hero steps inside, and a serene silence replaces the chaotic sounds of the market. An elderly but strong-looking man stands in the center of the training hall, his gaze calm yet piercing. "This is my master, Galen," June introduces Hero with a respectful bow. "He's the one who trained me. And master, this is the one I spoke of. He helped me escape the Legion, and he is the one." Galen studies Hero for a moment, his expression unreadable. Then a warm smile graces his face. "Welcome to the Dynasty, young warrior," he says, his voice deep and wise. "You are safe here." He offers Hero a selection of Dynastian clothing, simple yet elegant, to help them blend in. Once dressed in the traditional attire, he begins training the hero in the Dynastian fight style.
To his astonishment, Hero picks up the techniques with remarkable speed. Hero's movements become fluid, their strikes precise. Galen nods approvingly. "You are a fast learner," he acknowledges. "Perhaps fate has indeed brought you here for a reason." Before he can say more, the dojo doors swing open, and a figure steps inside. Xiang Tzu, Galen's most skilled student, surveys Hero with cold, scrutinizing eyes. His presence exudes confidence and barely concealed hostility. "We do not allow outsiders to learn our sacred arts so easily," Xiang Tzu states. "Especially not someone who once wore the armor of the Legion." "I am not a legionary," Hero replies, standing their ground. Xiang Tzu smirks, unimpressed. "Then prove it. A duel. If you lose, you leave this dojo and the Dynasty." Galen sighs but does not stop him. "I cannot deny him his right to challenge." The dojo clears and the duel begins. Xiang Tzu is fast, his strikes precise, his technique flawless. He fights unarmed, using only his mastery of martial arts. Yet, despite his skill, Hero matches him move for move. The battle is intense, every strike, block, and counterattack pushing them both to the limit. But in the end, with a decisive move, Hero defeats him. Xiang Tzu rises slowly, his pride wounded. He glares at Hero with burning determination. "One day, I will avenge this defeat." With those words, he turns and leaves. Galen steps forward, placing a hand on Hero's shoulder. "You have proven yourself worthy," he says, pride evident in his tone. "And now, I have one more request. Will you fight in the Dynasty tournament, representing the Grey Dragon's dojo?" After speaking with Galen, the hero and June set out to find Ling, the renowned blacksmith. They arrived at his forge, where the glow of molten metal cast flickering shadows across the walls. Ling greeted them warmly, but frowned when they explained their need for a portal to reach the palace. "I'm afraid I can't help you," Ling admitted, crossing his arms. "I don't have enough shadow resources. A new school, the Iron Beaks Dojo, placed a large order, and they took nearly all of my supply. If you want the materials, you'll have to speak with them. With no other choice, the hero and June made their way to the dojo. It was an impressive structure, its banners adorned with the image of an iron-beaked bird in flight. As they entered in, the dojo's secondary trainer, a fighter known as Iron Beak, stepped forward. June said that they come from Ling and requested them to give some of their shadow resources. "You came all this way for the shadow resources, didn't you? We don't just hand over something that valuable. If you want them, you'll have to earn them," he replied. Sizing up the hero, Iron Beak issued a challenge, a duel. If the hero won, the dojo would share the resources. If they lost, they would have to leave empty-handed. With determination, the hero stepped onto the training ground. The duel was intense. The Iron Beak's dojo followed a rare and powerful combat style, the Herald fight style. Their movements were swift, their strikes imbued with controlled shadow energy. But the hero fought with skill and resilience, and after a fierce battle they emerged victorious. True to their word, the dojo honored the agreement. It's revealed from Iron Beak that the dojo is owned by Kibo, an old friend of June. Kibo had once dreamed of being a herald, despite the belief that, to be a herald, you have to be born a herald. Her teachers and peers had dismissed her ambition, telling her it was impossible. But Kibo refused to accept that fate. She built the Iron Beak's dojo from the ground up, proving that even those outside the herald lineage could master their techniques. Now, she trained students from the Dynasty in the ways of the heralds, forging a new path where none had existed before. With the shadow resources in hand, the hero and June prepared for the next step of their journey, knowing that their battle was far from over. With the shadow resources secured, Ling wasted no time. At his forge, he worked swiftly, channeling the energy into a swirling vortex of darkness. The portal shimmered ominously, casting shifting shadows on the walls. "It's ready," Ling announced, stepping back. "This will take you straight to the throne room of the Dynastian palace." The hero and June exchanged a glance before stepping through. The moment they emerged, they found themselves in the heart of the palace, the grand throne room. But instead of the regal presence of the emperor, they were met with an unsettling sight. He too, the invisible herald, stood before them. He looked exhausted, his breath heavy, his expression grim. He too was the warrior who had once infiltrated the Legion camp and reclaimed the Shadow Sphere for the Dynasty. He had been entrusted with its protection. But now, his gaze burned with suspicion as he locked eyes with the hero. Then, without warning, Itu's voice rang through the hall.
"June! Get away from him."
Before they could react, Itu drew his katana, his stance shifting into a deadly form. Shadow energy rippled around him, his body momentarily flickering with invisibility.
"You attacked me,"
Itu growled, his tone laced with anger and confusion.
"I saw you. You and the others in shadow form. You stormed into the palace, struck me down, and when I awoke, the Emperor and the sphere were gone."
The hero barely had time to process Itu's words before the battle began. Itu's blade flashed as he lunged, wielding the precision of a master swordsman. He moved like a phantom, vanishing into thin air, striking from unseen angles, and healing his wounds with shadow energy. The throne room became a battlefield of shifting light and darkness, the clash of steel echoing through its vast halls. But the hero fought back, dodging Itu's relentless attacks, countering each strike with unwavering determination. It was a brutal struggle, but in the end, the hero triumphed. As Itu staggered, June rushed forward, her voice urgent.
Itu! Stop! The hero and I came through a portal. We just arrived here.
Itu's breathing slowed as realization dawned. His gaze wavered, his mind replaying the fragmented memories of the attack. Could it be that the one who took the Emperor and the sphere wasn't the hero after all? If his memory served him right, the figure who struck him down had the markings of the Legion, but not their usual banner. He exhaled sharply. Then, I've made a mistake. He sheathed his katana, his voice now steady but filled with urgency.
If the Legion is behind this, we have little time left. I need to investigate this further.
Stepping back, he fixed them with a serious look.
Keep this information to yourselves. If word spreads, the Dynasty will fall into chaos.
With that, Itu vanished into the shadows, leaving June and the hero standing amidst the ruins of their unexpected battle. The fate of the Dynasty and the truth behind the Emperor's disappearance had become even more uncertain. After their victory in the palace, June and the hero returned to Galen's dojo, only to find him deeply troubled. Zhang Tzu, once his trusted student, had taken all of Galen's disciples and left to form a new dojo. With the prestigious Thousand Arts tournament approaching, Galen fears his dojo will be unable to compete. June, who was a quick thinker, suggests that the hero fight in the tournament as Galen's representative. The hero nods with a confident smile, reassuring Galen. Relieved, Galen immediately begins preparations. When the tournament begins, the hero spots a familiar face in the crowd, Kibo. She walks over, smirking. "Congratulations," she says, her voice dripping with sarcasm. "I'd love to see you in the finals." With that, she vanishes into the crowd, leaving behind a sense of unease. The hero battles through the tournament, facing powerful opponents, a mimic, a skilled herald, a fearsome warrior from the Golden Demon Training Squad, and even a guardian dragon. Each battle is intense, but the hero emerges victorious. During a brief moment of rest, Ling approaches with secrecy. "A Legion statesman is looking for you," he warns. "Be careful." Later, in the shadows of a secluded alley, the hero encounters the Legion's ambassador, sent to capture him, by force if necessary. A fierce battle ensues, but the hero overcomes the ambassador. Defeated, the ambassador sneers. "You may have won today, but I will burn every Dynastian in this city, and you will burn with them." With those chilling words, he vanishes, leaving the hero with an uneasy feeling. Back in the tournament arena, the final match is set. Standing across from the hero is Zhang Tzu, but he is different. Clad in a new outfit, wielding a glaive and fighting with the unrefined techniques of a herald, he exudes an unstable confidence. "I've gotten stronger," he declares. "I will defeat you this time." But his movements are clumsy. He struggles to control his glaive and even injures himself mid-battle. In the end, the hero claims victory, earning the title of tournament champion. The crowd erupts in celebration, chanting the hero's name. Yet amidst the cheers, a familiar figure lingers in the distance. Itu. June and the hero quickly move toward him. Itu's expression is grim. "Kibo was spotted near the palace last night," he says. "I believe she's involved in the disappearance of the Shadow Sphere." June's face hardens with worry. The hero clenches his fists. The celebration fades into the background as a new mission takes hold. Kibo is hiding something, and they must find her before it's too late.
Rumors spread that Kibo was last seen heading toward a rural village. Sensing trouble, the hero and June make haste to find her. Upon arrival, they spot Kibo, but she is not alone. She stands encircled by Legion troops, but not just any soldiers. These are Liquidators. An elite unit trained specifically to combat warriors who rely on shadow energy. Kibo smirks, unfazed.
Just stop staring and make yourself quite useful.
She quips. Without hesitation, the hero and Kibo fight side by side, unleashing a storm of attacks. The liquidators counter with techniques designed to suppress shadow energy, but they are no match. After a grueling battle, the trio stands victorious. Catching her breath, Kibo explains, "They were after me because the ambassador fears my dojo. He fears what I've learned about the Herald fighting style." A grim realization settles in. The liquidators are the Legion's first line of defense if they are here, deep within Dynastian territory. Could it mean the ambassador has already begun his war? Before they can contemplate further, Kibo suddenly turns toward the ridge. "Some Legion soldiers chase Dynastians up there," she says. Without hesitation, she rushes after them. But as they near the ridge, a massive explosion of shadow energy erupts, shaking the land. The ground collapses into a deep, abyss-like pit, the soil imbued with shadow energy. The hero and June brace themselves, for the blast was too strong that they even felt it from the village. Then, through the rising smoke, a lone figure emerges. Kibo. But something is wrong. She stumbles, her body battered and bruised. One of her eyes glows ominously with pure shadow energy. June gasps. "What happened to you?" Before another word is spoken, Kibo's body trembles. Her breathing becomes erratic, and mindless she walks as if she is walking on pure instinct. Something happened to her. Her consciousness is slipping. Then, in an instant she attacks. The hero has no choice. The battle erupts in a fury of shadow-infused strikes. Kibo is faster, sharper, and more relentless than ever before. She moves with a supernatural precision, her techniques honed to perfection. Then, she unleashes her ultimate technique, the 1,000 Cuts. A whirlwind of slashes engulfs the hero, each strike a blur. Blood spills, pain surges. The hero staggers. But through sheer willpower, he stands once more, mustering every ounce of strength. He channels a devastating shadow attack, a technique designed to crush everything in its path. The final blow lands. Kibo collapses, her body trembling. The shadows fade from her mind, but her glowing eye remains a permanent mark of her encounter with the unknown. Still gasping, Kibo looks at the hero with a grim expression. "It's already begun," she says. "The war is here." She stares toward the horizon. "You need to go to the Herald's dome. The battle is over, but victory feels hollow. They have no emperor, no sphere. The fragile peace between the Legion and Dynasty is shattered. The war that had always been brewing has now fully ignited. With an injured Kibo, the hero, June, and E2 prepare you for their next journey toward the most mysterious faction of all, the Heralds. This marks the end of Chapter 2 and the dawn of war.